Let me take you back to the past. All the way back to 2011. The year of Occupy Wall Street. The year of the independence of South Sudan. The year of the successful SEAL Team 6 mission to eliminate Osama bin Laden. And unfortunately, the year of the major tsunami in Japan. In gaming terms, we had the PSN data breach, and Minecraft was unleashed onto the earth like a plague. And most importantly, FPSs dominated the gaming space. It felt like every major studio had at least one or two goes to break the stranglehold that COD had on the FPS multiplayer market. One of these studios was Bethesda. Bethesda didn't produce its own in-house FPS, instead got the talents at Splash Damage to make one for him, called Brink. Brink sold well and got pretty decent reviews, even if some of the reviews said the game was a few updates away from being your next favourite shooter. What is that? Bethesda releasing a unfinished, unpolished game? Who would have thought? Honestly, Bethesda have been doing this trick since before it was cool. You'd think the people who are devout defenders of Bethesda would realise they're in an abusive relationship at this point. Oh wow! A new Bethesda game just dropped. I sure do hope there's no game-breaking bugs or glitches.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
You're right. It's my fault not being able to mod the game to fix it.
You dork. Go back to the chess club.
I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me again. So back to Brink. Why did it disappear so fast? And why did I never play it until now? Back in the day, I remember seeing the theatrical trailer for the game and being incredibly wowed by the character design and the smooth movements they were performing. But this trailer is the only thing I ever saw of the game. The game came out, I never saw the box until about 2013, where it was massively reduced. Even then, the reduced price tag didn't even sway me to buying the game. So what other FPSs came out in 2011? Bulletstorm, Killzone 3, Crysis 2, Portal 2, Deus Ex Body Count, Dead Island, Resistance 3, Battlefield 3, COD Modern Warfare 3, and even Halo 1 got a remaster in 2011. And those are only the games that I played personally. And not to mention, 2011 was a stacked year for gaming in general. So what was Brink?
Changing mag!
Enemy spotted!
Health boost incoming!
I'll plant the charge!
Multiple enemy spotted!
Time reload!
Spotted!
Engineer down!
Charge planted!
Brink was a parkour team-based shooter that had a focus on an objective play and teamwork. Relying on teamwork in 2011 was a surprisingly novel concept. Was Brink any good? For 2011, the game's movement provides freedom and an okay flow, allowing for maneuvers like climbing walls that couldn't be performed in many FPS games of the time. The game has the class system, with each class having unique tools, which varies the experience from game to game. But that is me trying to remember what FPS games were like back then. How does it feel to play in 2024? The game feels rough, if I'm honest. I have some major issues with the game that make it not worth revisiting, even for nostalgia purposes. Firstly, the gunplay is really mediocre. The shooting feels incredibly loose and is aged pretty poorly. The objectives, as well, don't make much sense to me. Lots of them either escorting or protecting a point. And for a movement shooter, why would you have objectives that limit your movement. I also feel that the map design doesn't play itself into the free-run parkour aspect of the game at all. There's limited opportunity to flank, climb, or even use parkour at all. So it makes you wonder why that was the selling point of the game. My main issue with the game is the parkour itself. It is really lackluster. Since 2011, there has been multiple movement shooters which feel smoother and crisper than Brink. And non-movement shooters, such as COD, have increased the mantling and jumping to the point where you are able to perform the smoother movements during gameplay. Brink just feels underbaked. The parkour is performed by just holding a button, in which as a gameplay element is so unsatisfying. It feels like the game is doing all the cool actions for you. Watch this. Looks cool, performing some rad actions and then getting behind the enemy. But this is me during it. Wow. Another major issue I have with the game is there's no distinct difference between the two factions. And also the game says there's a single player, but the single player is multiplayer, just on your own. So what went wrong? Who is to blame for the disappointing state of the game? And why was parkour so damn popular? Finally have the answer. The 2006 film, Casino Royale. This film features one of the best parkour scenes in a blockbuster film. And this brought back parkour to being cool and sparked renewed interest in the way of the movement. And because of this, parkour was shoehorned into as many different genres of games as possible, with various levels of success. And Brink, unfortunately, is the big budget FPS example of this. Should Bethesda try to revive the franchise? I think they should. The market is desperately calling out for a fresh alternative for a team-based arcade shooter. Not a hero shooter though. So that was Brink. An FPS completely abandoned by Bethesda. I wonder what else they're up to in 2011. By God, no! Thanks again for watching the full video, guys. If you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe.